we cannot learn the things. First, we need to clear the learning difficulties which is faced by the learners. Once the mind is open, we will start teaching so that the learner will learn the lessons right. Therefore, in order to overcome all those learning problems faced by the students, might be attention deficit disorders, might be autism, might be concentration problems, so many issues are there. So all those issues should be handled by the teachers. We are going to the education institutions where you are allotted is not only for teachings and complete your course. No. Many students might be there, and all out of that you have to choose the serious ones. Okay, and try to investigate. The case study is nothing but it's almost like the thorough study of an individual in terms of the academic activities, in terms of the whether at the time of the birth, what was the weight of the baby, whether baby was above the 3 kg or below the 3 kgs. From health point of view also, is there any infections or disease during the, is there any accident took place during the prenatal, postnatal, or delivery times? Whether immunization program has been given or properly or not. Why the students have the issue of bad handwriting. A lot of data will be collected from the family side, from the individual concern, that is student side, and from the parents also, from the friends also, from teacher also, from local friends also. A lot of inquiries. Let's try to know the case studies. The case study is a systematic, complete, intensive studies of the pupil, his family backgrounds, his physical, social, emotional, intellectual environment in the world of the strengths. The definition of the case studies here mentions. You can take the photos, no problem. And I will not take much time. Therefore, your photograph will be deferred to records. And camera is enough to record everything, but your mind, your brain is not enough to record everything. The case study or history is a synthesis and interpretations of information about a persons and in relationship to environment collected by means of many techniques. The method for case study is collected through the following techniques, tools, and methods. What are the methods? Case study to behind the makagi tool and technique may answer data collection to gani. Data collection. Wajada so hanga masi kamay to puno mas sanay ng camera the homework sanay to work. This is what data collection. Go. So first one is psychological test. Here intelligence test, aptitude test, achievement test, test inventories. Satrasi atimatik kamay to here kanda. A lot of cares is given from the parent side, from teacher side. Home tutor is being provided. Even then, the student is not improved. So lastly, we examine that the intelligence level of the students. Intelligence average where we want it. Mama pano ujat no kain asam to rubuto. Asai intelligence average where we maram where kanda. Kedore target to achieve to mungam deo. Aduna knowing the interest level, the intelligence level of the student is also a must. May I ask whether is it visible the last venture? Can you see? I think as far as audibility, I think it's quite easy to listen. Okay, and aptitude is also aptitude. What is the role of the aptitude in our lives? What is the role of the aptitude? Aptitude is permanent with us always. So by knowing the aptitude, we can decide the stream of the subjects to be chosen. It's art, science, commerce, vocational, like that. So knowing the aptitude of the students is very, very important. Tuition, and interest inventories. What kind of interest that the student has? Is it extrinsic interest or intrinsic interest? Masai role 1, 2, 3 taba kamo jing di intrinsic ngaptani atai di extrinsic where to ni extrinsic it can be converted into the intrinsic also in my class in the first semester we discussed about this. Now self-report self is the best and so I quite again Pava Ozasi I Chamak never I would not be benefited. Counselor, foundational, doctor, Gariba, tutor, whatever. So many people might be there, but if I am not speaking the truth, and I could not be benefited. I assume with the high doctor, I want to tell any problems. High doctor, I could show kind of a way. I don't want to tell Tamoishan, what some I should mind like parting day, I will about me, all the Tragana I was asking the designs in party. Like the students should speak out. Listen carefully. You are the teacher, know the teaching your subject. Main duty is what? To minimize the learning problem faced by the student. Sa kasi na learn to kudung cha dum mayam singa to han lo thong ma thung the like ta bi ba da makok da da aki kan tan ba khot ba kaw kan ba mayam lai ra kan da is it right to start teaching ya ko adu mind to open with all kan da ready lai ra kan da we will start the teachings. So self-report is very important and report the parents teachers aside the parents su kan hona jab home tutor su hona jar school bi ozan su hona ba ko Paniam Honor, but I think Paniam Honor is tuition when you Magasu, Alan Snipper for Galuyatava. Only that he paid Lapani Haraka self-report. I sana, Paniam was out of Namta, so I want to jump Musunayati. I think that the self-report areas still equated. Critical study of Torakan, the Tolo to you, the another problem, the salt to you. What the points? Yatariko. See what he may have said. Say the base or one report of a submit to the Kanga the city worry that the practical hand-on training. Home visit my lad Bob Sikamai to Wizano. Hina Bulay, Chikai, my daily took Tardy Lion quiet and nothing say. You worry lately. I think Chikai Makasa Mordecai of the Tarian like Pogati Hyphenaching Bar for the Iman card to the lady of Pochi. How many of you are not familiar with the Manipuri language? Please rise up. Whether I will be used bilingual English and Manipuri? Prefer one. So, I don't know my home business is a lady see category kind of Magi Lady book card to the TV drawing room to the number. And the TV of one power and Baraboraka and Nancy category problem to you. Disturb to him. The Anang gas and after meeting to the family member after the dinner, after lunch, a lot of meeting is going on in the rooms of the children. Nan very high hierarchy mahana hiram bado atui ka dinga angang mayam akoi family member mayam story meeting to atui dunu baram orkan ma se boring surang so many reasons are here. So all these reasons can be detected through the home visit. Yariko. The parents is a second guardian. I'm sorry, teacher is a second guardian. Only like people can very problem, generating a problem to diagnose or problem solved to with our not to do Baroidraba. Panico, I think you are in it. This is no time for that. Checklist. Checklist of the car is also very important. I will tell you later on. I don't have enough time. Interview is also very important. Again, since I have to my cocktail lady report me so I want to interview na go. Aduna aside panel discussion interview to this. Aside interviewer to na kola hanga loi otola kuya. So that if we are not examined critically, if we are not examined in deeper sense, the problem which is faced by the students cannot be found out. So direct observations, community report cards, and anecdotal report cards. So all these things are the data through which we will be able to collect the data. Informative data means What is the difference between the information and data? What is the difference between data and information? Data is information may am to say data may am information or information to tabo or knowledge or knowledge later can practical skill to now steps involved in a case study. Case study they all go these steps into what are the steps. The first one is location of the case. Karambal Sagano, Nanga Chaturito, Yum no Kandri, case study Patum, the Namoidra. Namoibo, me to Gilebum Sata, to Gilebum Kambo Machameo. Not like that. And the Ozaya, but a young business Garanto, I think, Oma Pana, Pedova, was asking the Tazabayam Wale. We should teach our students like our parents. Was parents so iba, was also iba, Aduna Talabaduna in a highway drop. I is in a color like Tapir that I don't vale. Adu, I is in a color tapi, I am a tapi, me, Mazan and color tapi. I think the name of Nansing I hate this. Chumbara Lambra, Chumbari. Kiaro with the beginner coaching tutor Kaurisico. Location of the case is very, very important. Formulation of the hypothesis. Kari with me and my problems. One letter in Kari Gradino, Sanganara, Natragana, Jumda, Sai Magi, Larry Pabongo problem with Yamlam Bagira, or Natragana Magi community friends, Hakul influence over, or Natragana Masi Shimaya, 20 Epizala, Natragana Masi Ponyam Pai Vizala, Natragana Masi Kedoba. Video game yam chana bazalas. Some reasons might be here. Another cinema Sundar is in Maram Sui Leroy drop, Lady Leroy. Adu Putoxi Haibuneva, Targeti, the case studies. That is what formulation of the hypothesis. We talk Yama, Zagada, Han Putona Mona say, Adu the Chumbara Lambra, Tijalaganda, Chumbasuya, Adu reject to Satbasuya hypothesis. Collection of data from the pupils. My Satra, my Mamana, Simmas, Kamaito, Imagine, Sogan Baramazi, Kokan Baramazi, Kamaito, Vikaram, Bakadimino, I am Madame Matas Handara. I also talks about my quotas. Mamuda Hamdi, Hungry with the Mamana, the Toyna School, a child of you. Not Putoro Chapo Pichaki guy. The Aichan with the site of Paragan in the Hungary. My Sumba Sumba, Curly, Dunia, than Lohatori. I do get clue to come over to the home the Amuk Hena Muk home the Hena Muk study to you. Togogan and last solve problem solved or a candidate. I'm going to say get a light party. Sini, I get like the people to Aduna the Barus, let them be the Anandu, the learning environment, learning situations, learning readiness later, I have seen Masia Baru, Adu Madunda, I could let them be hope with them never. Another learning problems in say, solve down one of the Matanam Changero. Adu Dunan is Sandra Amanda, as I internship on the Amamum Katane was studying to Duisi, Sandra, the Amamani school late Vito. Ni Tara Thai Kalas in Tara, do not look at this Sata Tara Kantaneva. Adu case studies say, Amana, care thorough idea, they hope of a Maramorican case studies say, among copy or appear to see however. But the question by them to take Mark Piro, Mark Tara or Money. Go. I do not. And I'm saying me to give photo Hakani, my subchama worry, home visit, Karikara, home visit, but her parents, parents, Pablo, machine housing option, they put in Larry, I can take what the Paramadi Pakide, high on Ankarasway in Yorumari, I don't know, Nancy, the parents get phone number, I put the phone call towers, video call towers, you decide to Parakazo. I think they held report my employee collection of accounts hung up to never. Go. I was in theory, like say practical, exact example of the case study will be discussed. Adu Lakani, Aduna headmaster, parents, friends, community at large, like I did, Marumapang Mayansing Su, Marimata Mayansing student with Paul Logan, Amansi Karamakani, Nano, Kamain Togi, Anan Patabangansi Karani Yana the type. Anan Patabon, option or Bakar Pase, Kanani Han type. Parents na Tabara, Lekai na Tarapara, Ozana Tarapara, Mari Sangan na Tarapara, why the Yan the Chicanako? Friends, I come to the Hydro Losan Garani. No one can say Losan the Guinea. Why the Hanahan was it, Lekai na Han, Kanganel. lekai di community di kere coach yang darkar wayo lekai na hanakha kani mathang da friend circle ko adi ojai or kani koi last day yong tuisi karadro mama pa yang pangge adu ta ko ni mama pa singbang sangi mama pa proactive bom sangi nath ta ni maha ki macha do mangi doini natra parents ki role student ki role aduga teachers ki role community ki role. So education is becoming nowadays tripolar or multipolar way. Anang katana mama katana usa katana yaro tripolar si polar machit om ji thi ngai na tu ne pau kom na tu ne adu tripolar or multipolar way which is. Now analysis and data identification causal factors basis for remedial treatment. My data konga do mayam si 1.1 study hajan par kan sai da asoi dan follow kane adu asoi ba jaga ta ne mai koi na hauturi se treatment hauturi se ko removing the causes kari din mang lai par se video game nam sana me senwa yam yeng bai na atra ma pa na korsa yam bi bai na marom bisoi le ram bida agam du phana puksar ko ni da nadra ne ozatni khande phang sangani kan de lekai ni kan de parents ni kan de apa di karai no soi ger ko mal chumra adu ngang soi le tro angang siam je hai ni sam sam angang lai tam bi bagi mo angang siam lai tam bi ju siam ni mai cognitive effective psychomotor adu chian zo hondo le tro koi lai tam le se mari ko follow up the C's to determine the effectiveness of remedial and assessmental measures applied aduna treatment period ba hore si nang smai tore korsa yes. Now here you can find that the first items for the case study is identifying data. That is name of the students, anang maming kari kawi, anang kari class tammi, academic ko psychiatric treatment nate ko chi taptoi je. Academic life classroom the sodar kado adu itu fana na bagin damak na maram di oza sing the psychiatric pass out trieva ko MPO trieva adu ki area nate sika the case study na karam problem lokar pa ya has your kini ko anang dugi class anang dugi section roll number year date of birth home address father and guardian name and their occupation si your the we are na tadi akoi data collection to the mabung pha ba chumbaram lanpro Chumro lambro. Chumiko. Wakanyam Kalido, Karai to Mahai Mali. Family history. Family history after the family taking a toll of the river problem with the Maxin. Money nothing. Family taking after a toll to is parents on the side mother and father's parents, if the parents are quarreling very frequently, it will affect and trauma will be created in the mind of the students. Angan si why angan bangan si pedore mapa si peer begin departmental level or medical departmental level 950,000 lakh ka di pedore yang ware aduna in the angan di home tutor lai banata banina tuition chutha da banina kai la ani haira ka da mother to the lanker hai buat banina ko father la hai chu hai bani father to yang sok thar la ko kan si bapa to hai na lo khai ro sai samwa la in sedang ni class wa ko de ki homework ne baru we banati hai na khomuta di kai dore lari paning ba es lari pa ba si ya ga ma ni hai ke so na ro ana to ba gi aum samsar ni gi do ne trauma da ko sine ba ngan pa ke pa lo si parents ki acho bo lo ni chu lai hai chi yani bro yani ngam okay ado parent oi tar di angang sing da nuksi na loina biwa sine ko ya maru ri nuksi ne na hai na angang to ne hai ke pirak ta di adu so problem la kani adu ki wari just da wala tol ki angang ne hai ne pi ba mapa mama ki macha sing se kya pakan de ko. So mother education, occupation, father ki adamai to income, social status, recreational interest, attitude toward families, relationship with husband, family da lai na mathayam saba, family conflict labor, other family yum the sunang say labia the bangan labor. At the yum the labor sato shia with the mungan labor. Masi the kind of the parental role played in the families. Family to labor parent ki role to give a cup or labor. Long time and I'm going to say, Harrow my Fagramina, yum the Sule labor. Karaluna Tomba, according pocket talk to the yum the labor. Johnny, Vijay, Vijay Kanga was a pocket talk to the like I boy second level. And the solve doing it. Mina, Nangi Witness, my smile, darkness, my Amanga Tole, Jana Pimayam, hiding it. And was like men posing the Marki, in China Luna talk to the pocket talk to Adu to the name, Effectorino. And the might of the same like it, our students, our children also talk to it. So parents are first teacher, and then and the teacher are the second parents. I think that the teacher no love with the role say parental role to need to copy to go. Shani come like that's the chinida. I think they get away with her, you know. Chumra. Alam since the fighting color is a kind of mama by a mixture of it. Okay, Tanga high with the guy, what Paul Pomaba, Mama passing on the Tanga, I never. Soon Bangan since a kind of how white you. Emotional maturity lay, Moisi. Comana Latina has much power, walking Kanday. Yamday. I don't know more pass and ping of the massage and ping of the Canada. Sumbro Lambro. Mama say, Mama pass was 100 the massage one boy. Exact copy the way to do it. Sumbro Lambro. I think Mama father mustn't cross leg what's in the roba. Mia Mara, Mama, the name was mustn't tickle to it. But don't say, I love and Mama, I cook it, kudo. So, what is the wrong in the family that may create the wrong in the life of that students, that children? I don't know, young the that is what family history. Family thing, we told them after the problem with the boxing say, but I'm hold the 24 hours like when you Sunday Numita, Chuti Numita, Adu but that is school hour, Mama school hour, Batum the late Unina. Quite responsible over my environment and family now. The family is so hard, the noise working. I do not Ochana Timer is in Lali. Adu parents in Loyal Sings the Nan Yopolo Haiti, Moy Kanguani, a tweet number of Americanda, parents in sick at all time, or Hoko Pibatari. Parents would look well qualified with you, Chumra Lambra. I think you know, asking the Loy qualified way. Qualified way, do not announce mind or the Puggy hype of parents that help over Yatra. Yamadra, Tomindra Bra. Parents, Nadia Pagalata, Haro. I don't think Luna talked about the Anando Paratati, Masi school, Tamorkan, Bodino, Palapina, Nagi school, do Lazadi, Pedova, Santum Boy Deva. Where we draw. Other school in the game, government school in the game, Galoisi, Ozai Kutali, Ozara Singduna Nitina, Tawayam, talked about Targati. Government school issue, pedoctor and private school issue, loy no tupchen gide. Tupchen ko matung nadi government ki job phanga kidra pai. Private ta tamne private ta tabak tora pusi loi ta ni. Ai khoi si kharsa ni yandana onsi ju pai na kundana adum loi gi doi ge. Adu the government school kan sei private school su lai just no private school to pi ni was salary is government ke japa na piu papa da di loi pi ke do pi loi to no japa na ba syllabus ni japa na ba subject ni kisu khena bolai kai do we 100 no have this issue koi kai do ba labor law ki matu ni su lai le minimum basic ti pita ya de as per UGC norms matu mina to alam se hara isi ko se mama su ko ba ha hara ko de luna to me de se ani to so we la or na ki bula no mi la kala kane physical condition of the homes. Ko, angan saying kasai karabo dibam da yung di am sabra, yung da kaya na chambona. Family to kari problem le game. A combination ki oiro toilet ki oiro kari ka loin le gre ko. Ai loin na hire re ko. Asi ab dakar na ki lai problem si isle da ko insan da ma chu go le bani. Ko, ma chu sang da ko po le ba. Dui ta ngan se lai ka yo ki hai ko ni ba yam le bani ko. Discipline in the homes, yung the kamay to yung ngang sing na sana ko yabra yada bra, mari karasta bar boy da bra, sisu yam naila ba bachang ngayon. Ay ko yung target ni angang the full heck school dagi hawraga family dagi hawraga friend circle dagi hawraga loina bab study tawge aban nation information cha lokar pe aban lokal kanda angan duna like hairam badagi hairatri do adu ju uthoku ngamakane aba side ama katang dak se lai haiti ai sai ga ngam lai hair ga do unati chumbro lambro chumi ko no si verja ni usabai bai si su ko adu la ngang lai chada ba sing se sat adu ai sat ai jane na kal lai tabi da ni moi su pagat ni nadra ne yam nu mai verja ni wakal ngang lai tabi matha sa bi su lai loi loi ne alang si ayam matam stress lai bro lai tabra sigi matam koi lai ti tuition ki थियो ni ban time pullaga no school thado bacha kar doi ne alam se घर में क्यों दले के my study room the kamai ले के से no one care no parents care and that is why a lot of issues waram de moi ni khang bana te chumbar la kana da bora is khang ma ja na ti ba abi duna waram or kan we the parents need the role of parent I'm taking the role of the parents in the nourishment of the child. Now personal history at the time of the birth masing kg ohum point gibra kg ohum dagi tabra 2.5 kg dagi na tabra kg ohum dagi heno wang bagan sing da sing moira kg ani ga makhai ga ohum makhai lu madu ga na hena sing da dagi this is scientifically proves weight agang weight work base sina to barabar ngang se no growth later ba ko koi sondam na dam ba ngang duni masana to IQ ni bata ba ne ko adu ngang koi delivery matam da delivery mo mang da so koi pain killer ko ma di antibiotic adagi ma ya sa lu tar di problem to no ka mai pura to ko ni bera le ni ba the nervous system of the baby is with the mess. Okay, so at the time of the birth can predict the future of the babies. Angan to future say birth ki matam da thengani ba mai phenomenon data ma da adu na su decide to ba ngang sin say bedo ba kari ba yellow color to kari ba jaundice na di ngang sin si su adu kara the problem la ba health growth ko adu ne ba ngang po matam da kap ta ba kan ko yang wa da kap ki ba ngang so many reasons are there and at the time of the birth the proper imagine even is not on right. Ito na life tam by music yung malong di ang nagdabuni. Health and medical histories. What was the height? What was the weight? What was the physical defects? Angan say yema. PC mo iba ko reso level yang yarom mani ko kamay khang dia ba ngang sin gada. Okay, I will tell you there are 3 types of babies. Number 1, number 2, tawtring ay da kappa anga. Number 1, number 2, tawtring ay da kappa anga. Second, number 1, number 2, tawtring matung da kappa anga. Number 1, number 2, third, number 1, number 2, tawrasu tum na lay ba anga. There are 3 categories of babies. Abi tadi ningha da ko ai silo kham doi se. Why this simple sing sai aham batu ne. Mama pa wa ning da ba imung yok da ba ahlam ban nai da ba ko. Wa ki ga da ai tawel sing si wa ki ga na why number 1 number 2 option da ya si ko nam ne. Advanced thinker ne moi do. Ado moi do ado phara da ba ni. Ko second bo ya 5 pharak ta doi se last ne. One ke two ke option laga su tum chen da kai ma. Ngang na sana ba stubborn oi da ba ngang ne do ngang do. So ya adi tadi mama tu na simam tadi si ngang se hayek yok ba da wani warwe already no nga ta kham dra ba. Si no le se. Si sum sing sing rai ding la kani ha ka ga case de ni la to ne ko. Emotional habit and antisocial traits. Angang sina pot chai toy na school hara pada pencil or eraser or boy or mushala ba er ali yes intervene ta ho madu intervene ek ta ho tra problem to ne bunga to bigi mapot pharmacy se ya mana phata ba ko behavior koi gal le ko yari ke ki ideal koi ba tum ba ko se aduna oja de so hai na re ai angang se pencil nung ti jai pore eraser nung ti jai pore se hai ho tra ga bi madu ki effect to na pencil lai ra su ya re eraser lai ra su ya re boy lai ra su ya re na khalak dar de haying Madai the funky photo, interest the winner the component test calculated. Uma Pasoida Matasanel, Sima Kanjan Yopo, Aduna, Edutari Harikata. All the criminals are coming out from the classrooms. Criminal Mayam classroom after the Karama criminal Mayam say, Madam, classroom the Nanga Sanawaba, Ko, Adeki. Meeting Maya, he get Lamba classroom discussed over since Sumo Mayam since she never. She didn't ever done since behaviors of we do it. And the classroom the soon only the subject pieces chemistry, bio, social science, Mayam, the mass to tackle. Another behavior she was in a throw. Cognitive, effective, psychomotor, based on the general objective, specific of the shape or chamber grow. The sun plan the same day. Another talk what's happening, let's see what's happening. That is subject to tackle something at the table. So, Brola high zero. And the another character may have to set up you. Once character is lost, everything is lost. Highlighted the character again. Serious or even but the school Maniputa school could even say character based school of the late in a low. Character certificate who I quite amata humdi, emission madam the joke madam the Adu do not quite the character loss like that. She see section, but what about the CBSE institution? CBSE institution, the whole characters in the school don't have chunky, but the heck told about the Magi whole record and then the tell record, community record card, all maintained on Canal. Now, high Tarika says the Manaba Punaki, a report is your Canal. Cinema, or Adimasi, she might have Ukanda Yawi. Whole record member maintained on Canal. I think Anando, Karam Mukani, and Puna, and China, like Pagan Miram Natabra, the line come up to me. Kiata Kumya. Okay. Kung say Baro Makai, the Loyuto, Baroda. I think that Baro woman, the theory class again, after recess, that is 12:30, in practical house. So, social history, educational history, vocational history, psychological record, problem history, mayam sing se koi na case study ki technique aaptani. Sigi technique mayam sing na data se collect or ka thol ka doi ni problem mayam sing easily handle to ka doi bani. Now let us not take much time. Pung amma mung actually pung amma do real practical the satha pung amma na ba example of case study do ko yeng min na si ko. Karena makan ki case study si quite for case study no kari mapun chen ka dagero case study phat ragadi angang gi career se soi ki ladro ninthi na bhajana study to da bu yati dan sinani baram sana hai ho ke bata ragadi koi problem thokane. So the first one is completeness of data. As mo mo pang di haina hangaroida ona tragana mo pa di hangaroida adi tani mapung phari banagi data. Father Mina Angang do Ada Ho Malay Tardi, Ketova, Angang proper correction to Horo Dunium. I don't know, Tatasi, incomplete point to Tokoya, the guest the seat of Targadi, going about area Kudimak Tasta Hora, the Tato, complete point of Monova, Ama Change Hava. Continuity of data. Once man a concept keep data, Masi, Amukataki, Sahi Amakataki, next year is about reference Lorcanel. Class 5 to you say class 7 I the Sulorocanel. 2 of the Sulorocanel. Now with the Makamite to engage. Once Magi Philema, Kesani Philema Hangi, I will say, Magi career, whole life, Katar to validity of data. Data do Matankar in a teco, Tunko in a Hunanava, officer record me, I'm going to have over time. Angangi like leave the Mohana Kansi, Tata, Hachanity, the Pomsalaga, file formatted from the home, but we are Kanagani having the confidential recording of data sing say, Angan say, in social element, Maya, and Bob Torotati, at the Mikuting Hydro Tati, Police Oiro, Mamanaban Oiro, Pur Oiro, Mina Sukari, the Roidro, Pulling Mayam, we are being a counselor. Was asking counselor na kedoktaring hire kanda sigi confidentiality record of data se mas confident to gudal karaom ta na haidu mi ati ujana mai ajun bangang singa option of ngang ya tuni dani na mama na haidu utadi class di mas class of the label kamukta basu yae adun yarga hedo bigano adu ki mohutta chhatro to semto ka sato pa phagara na mohna han biyo scientific synthesis analysis of data. Because isu khomi ba data mo yam single madudagi kana ba local law. So idana agang single fagal kane ko. Use of case study methods. So basis for the diagnosis and treatments. Case study clarify diagnostic relationship, remove points of discussion, thinking without reasons and faulty information inherent in knowing the differences in practical and organic difficulties. I'm supposed to move next slides. So why the case study is very useful? The case study is very useful in assessing the personalities of individual. Personalities karang kawi. Meaning apun ba gyan do, meaning apun ba magun do personality kawi ko. Nung panan mo pujan laga laiba meaning apun ba magun do personality kawi. Ada meaning apun ba masak tadi ko yam sam na oiram ba yai, pang ba oiram ba yai. Adu pangjar ka sa doktor ba am sim ba mi ju lai ne. And me is very complex. Miyoi bagi character se masi kham do hona ba arai ba thak dati. Adu nagi once kedoba ekoi sigi kenose case studies in that will be very helpful. Now it supplies quantitative data about individual, general, specific characteristics are also known in the world of the young. Case study is a useful means for obtaining specific information about the material life of persons. I di cham Germany mana kana or badai I guda bal ki nihai shi am dai dire chumra lambra I should guda bolang ke to ba school sa pudan nawi ga ha ba ki jai chum kana or ba lastly mana ga da boy ram tre thai ko ka da boy le ram re ko baram di last day thang tian bo chum hap chal pe bi la di ma no moi ba dai shi no moi ba ka di last day je da bolak bu na bu ta chumra. Limitation of the case studies. These are the limitations. In examination also case study ki sample la bani ko case study limitation karina ha kani soi dana adu no record la ho ko. Shall I move next slides?
Sir, time scale se kya mo koi case study?
Very good.
Case study ki time scale se kya mo koi average?
Ko na khana se hierarchy. Ata hierarchy ko. Now let's start. Now case studies is supposed to be start. See, angang si case study to ni muksitra. Oh, angang si maru naman yung kana rin pati tara. Muksi bani ko. Now let's start. See, angang si maming si Johnny ko wiko. Maki bapa ni na Joy. Angang si sahi kya sure 12 years. Class ka 6. Tapi kemari problem na weakness in studies. Lari tiap parang mamini apa. Lari terpal gitu apa. Lari parang tu masih miwa tabung ni mama apa nasunuk CBD, mama nama sunuk CBD school itu jangan sunuk CBD. Natra, adu itu nama barang mereka. Magi haram ngai lagi. Baca ini nama bagi ya mana na. Nama tu cara pada na haram betul. Kerana kan haram tu na haram betul. Kalau orang pasal hadar, mang untuk apa kai. Lebam jauh kamu ikut yang stress yang tinggal berjani. Adunagi yung angangsing yung dalay tapos yung yawri ba niya mama mapa toy na sa ibadi oja school usaning di maram di oja sing na mama nang mayam magta girlfriend so yawri niya di mamang tuma sila ay di hari di may kai ide chumber. So the problem is weakness in studies. Like this motor ba kamay shop ta wala gidi yeng asiko. The family backgrounds. Now Johnny is only one child of his parents. When yang tiang na yung pan na barang mereka na yang tiang na yung pan na barang mereka na may makatawa pangre Johnny katang ni yung tiang na pan na sisu problem ni. His father is running in industries. Bagi bapa si industries sa life ko. Aduga his monthly income is about 5 lakhs. Pag sabi ni may wat rent tama na lakh mga di adubla eh. Sige family man dali ko thola to yung problem si. Although he studies up to MBA, my father is an MBA law in Cork. Mother is an educated lady, she never studied in schools. Like, masak yang tiap pasaba, masak tan ngau pada. Hadi sian tum awak awak terlai dramina. Pasaba tan thamadi, unu sati wini kan kal lagi. Sakta yung pamwar ka lau rubuh kita. So now Johnny was born 10 years after the marriage of his parents, luckily. Yam take a young pan machine, call. Angang yam take a pangali. Masanta, both father and mother used to provide undue affection to the child. Abang yam tang na pajaba angang nina. Numit taki hena sana ati hena tang na yung sinaloy na biyo. Angang to na hari loy ito biyo. They tried to fulfill all the desire of their child. The child was over paper. Agar angang si kaya na lu na to kuna barang boleh kana tona level. Tona bakangi ko. Okay. Si babu ki sigi information se cry din lori no. Yung dagi di ko. Sumaya tarik ka thato ni ko noy na hayang sara ko ka. Sige mamay si ma exit logo yare. Ay ngatang le ga so noy kaman wasan su format to ay share torke. Si mamay si ma khang ni ko. So game ka daw na te ko. Sige mo ni ko hayang submit tor ko si internship lori ka. My family condition kamay to no. My discipline kamay to no. Hobby kari like history of the problem kamay to hor kinuman lai hai trisik. Sige mayam sing sige am kaya na ay elaborate irarway ki noy na ato isaro ko. History of the health in Nangarasi. Health of the Johnny is normal. He is neither too reverse, delicate to look at. He is not having any physical defects. Example, I have to talk to. So look the lady. He does not use glasses anokto. And as a normal hearing, nakongsu ta dapat tati ko pa lady. He get very good diet. Ko, sinjang sa papa yang project mama na tungda nila ko. He belongs to financially rich family. Ina yang kumipung mo iba nina may award bauta lady ko. So he is having sound physics. Masayang fai. During infancy, he suffered from attack of the measles. Anang wearing kan the lycoptima tenagi. Without any serious effects. Adu itarasu haksang na shock hindi lycop ngahaki kenotor baywani. Si kray deno si home visit dali ni ko. Certificate, birth certificate ka leher party si hapsan biro xerox copy ama. Ujiki report today to the case study na ham submit to the budita ko. Educational achievement life sudama si kar mamino ye ngasi. IQ of the Johnny is above the average. Intelligent test of the imagination tapadi. He failed once in class 6 amacha mukha fail hoigi. He generally makes mischief in class. Many times he plays geometry and witness film. Sip macha sharma school lagi na to si maya to no hura lagi yen ko mine. O game video game ko yang yen ko mine ko. He spent too much time in play activity. Sana ko dasu matam yang makan bami amane. Adui tunang beju kay dore. Larikta sothare karga su tholapra. Now, emotional and social behavior of the Johnny. Johnny is temperamental, timid and quarrelsome. Koma say mi kya thina da ba tu ba miki thigumba mi de yum da la kan lor ba tu ma ngang amane. Aduga ba yam chu shawan ba tu mu bita amane maramdi mama pa ni yam lu na to bani na aning ba da thumak bani na pa na khalli ko ni ba si thongde ati han ki ko ma lai ko na maram or ka over paper to ko na maram or ka ma se punging war ba father ba wat ba shawan ba mida oi ha ba yani ko. Most of the class fellows do not like to talk him. And the mic is hatra mayam sina video game sana ko ni ko man matam sotar isi senwayang batagi. I don't know. Momana mo mayam sina ka kay dore mo mo wari sabu pamde kay mas haru tardi kana no gi masak je hekto oira ko ai ta soban ba mini na. Many times he disobeys his teacher and parents. Parents na teacher na hire ka su wasi ya de maram di mai apam ba chat ba ngang ni na lu na to bagi tonan ba ngang way. He is very optionals. Now see so home visit tagi phangba information ni. Please show one photo of the students. Satra tagi photo hapchan ba ya video games kari kra sana tagi. Now tata se formal lore ka se interpretation hokore. Kamai interpret to kani su ye ngasi. Number 1, problem of the studies and weakness take over protection of the parents. mama mapana kaina luna tauba. Number 1. Sumbaro. Okay. Next. Johnny could not make assessment in home and school. Aduna home the school the zoo. Ucha aduna sumba katang lu tauya muti chumbra. Yung da budi lu na taubi aduna mai apa pada chatba ngang boy banina kamai tawi harga yung da su amasung school da su masi mi loina pada problem lay. Mai apa pada chatba mi dane. Overprotections given by the parents is primarily responsible for weakness in the studies. And the mama mapa na kaya na luna to ba sisu pagmante. At ang ay sila matang ang haijagi. Ang abakag lay masi bapunsi kapwa haitaw. Ang sila kapke hayar ka sune kapwa mamdaw. Kap tingin ito sanggong ni kang ni atsapo ni jagi mo. Bapunsi kapwa haitaw nga. Ang ito hayar ka wadar patian lawdra. Awa ana sumayam sing suloy na khang da ya de kap nat kap phongok tro di ma kamai to tu no sumara ni emotionally ko yaw da tar di affective to men yaw da tar di ko kamai ni boi tu no hay sansar si global warming la ani di deforestation bayam sing na ko si sansar si amang boi ra ni atu na mi hing ba ya ro ka han sagal ani adu tar adu aki bu no bar mar ka na si di environmental education se supreme court na tam de ani hay ni tro adu itu na tro war article celebrate awise aki badun maram maram aki basi si lai to ya de karamba aki ba appa bada aki ba ekam tam phelo yu se pak phelo yu ya de maram phelo yu ma mata sa yu wa ya si chumra moi chumani lo ise. Moreover, playing the truancy from the class and frequent visit to the movies are also responsible for weakness in studies. Adamana video game sanaba sharma yengba hora school ding chat bache si shina kai mai tawgi hire card da si su factor amane lai su thawa yaw ta ba almana sharma video game yam chat si kai no hire card pocket money si su mama na yam pi to pocket money si de loi lai re ko ma sharma da chala magi phawani pokhai bi ora mari prakta to his emotional instability and non-cooperation of his class fellows obstruct his studies. And the Magi Puning Wakals is anti literature, Kuranga Big, Maya Pamba, the Dum Chapa, or in the Toba, I think Awakia Kamba Haitaba, patience later, Atumaya, the Maramarican, Masi, Kadori Harakata, Burupang Bayam, since the Luna, but the Masi Gum Day, Yam Sokan Babida with the way. Some of the Nahase. Johnny wearing color, and the Canada mission later color. Look, within the living and look at the Kana Musikai. The Trana, she never emotional instability later was a party. Now, evaluating treatment. Evaluating treatment says that Kamai Toraga, Johnny have a serious position of the day had to do Queen Mangalere, or parents of the Johnny should advise that they should not provide over affection. Sachung Gibra. Nukai and Nusi Pate, Nusi Tamoida, Tamu, Haito. Nusi Pongo, my Pongo was young. Some sons come on the front already. Lupa, that dragon to be to the Suchars, the road to him. Has Mother Zero, I told him to him. So many I see. The guy and she was a pate. She got me the high of was a pate. They should be asked to check the girl from the going to the movies. Alan says, video game movie, the Chalaman and Charlie was a Chatana check the woman was the parents of the they should not give large amount of pocket money, yam the period of the Ringan, which I am glad much which I should not be a teacher of Tami. La ni sikana parents were from. I do not know the Alan is only with an one of Tari. They should ensure that the child studies regularly complete at home and task assignment. I do not get up Tari Harakanda, my Matose, homework, period, class work, assignment, be a Kumaya, but she did illusion and never honor the Masana. Not the so home theater, but some people by birthday, my mother's tea. Larry Hajita Bonina, Macha to the magazine, Yena, the like power and Amal Sana Togiba. Sana wani lain bawa. Anonymity develop tahu yang macam sih kan siga kau ini mama siga. Adu itu na anak dia apa masuk kami betai adu lari su home teacher apa nak hang bang negara itu biar tarik dia anak tu soal itu nak kadrai ini kali. Cumbro lambro. Sumingnya hakam jalan bro. Engagement of home tutor, mother is illiterate. Mama selari hai jawabnya sian dia wan pada itu family woi banina kaitu tarik home tutor bagi engage tu tu ya. Abi tadi ngan dia wan pada mereka pun nak moitran. Ngabdi kau ngan tu, kantang matang ada di upaya lagi. Sian wajib bagi video game pada terang. So special attention should be paid by his teachers. They should supervise his home tasks regularly, encourage him to utilize his intelligence for capturing his attention. Teachers should ask him to answer various questions from time to time. Mama ada hanging question mayam le rambani ay kasa hay gitu. Mama apa na cahit kasi. Masih amon na masih uang nang ba horba nang sini uang nang ba topa loan topa ba matan sisa. Ay ko na cahit lu betar kita nang siya kunci uang nang na boy. Last hour class 19, 11, 12 betul makan uang nang kene. Badu kari kino har kana nang ba ko na kedo ba. Saya halu bagi pone. Sungai cai ke nopo. Question asu kata kama tahu experiment tahu ko mai blank ka amada review nama thasali review tu aha badaman nusi ko ade di review tu kedu ba puto kare after 6 months amu same mai class is western ki class is the angang sit mai macha mutani experiment tahu is kape kari ki mo ye mor kan is ai class asu li bato kedu ba angang tu Europe ta lai mi sing sti koi ki jacket sing far roi si chani dana rabbit ki adu chenaro bodane ka pe se adu ta di tha taru paw da ngam du huji paw ki dir lai ni adu la ai isa du rushina loina biu ko ta thi to na to bi ga nu ui na sang na chat bani mapa na phu ba si am sentiment so kar la ko adu ni yar ge pu bi ga nu wari ti na sa biu ar di e ki batu ni na sa ka phu su ya da ne phu ro de dang jen jang ni Bro. So healthy emotion, cooperative attitude should be developed in him. His class fellows should be asked to show the cooperation. Now, no boy, sumai iba hingi draw. Kesa ni da. Uyi yung yimbe wa dia. Ilang tu ni ko sumai na iya hingi draw. Hai no. Okay, very good. I do it. Ito na kayo tare. Koi protection भी बता रहे, pocket money भी बता रहे, home theater में हम भी रखा, guide तो भी बता रहे. Berarti lari hai bami ka hai tabi si bari sara ko jati bari chaki tambe mama de lari hai bami tabi ne khambe har to ni adu communication ke ko home theater में हम बदी फरक तो ना तो loira में नहीं कोई नहीं तब से इस case study की background the characteristics, techniques, limitations, the real example of the case studies. The topic is over now. So kari hanging ba adum loina noi dum hango adum tana si ko. I am not a perfect. I am not a god.
Sir, ahamada time frame se kya ho gaya start?
Time frame si normally chahi 3 quite minimum da. Ngambagani 5 years koi bi ai. But noi na chat ka da matam do. Adu dei matam na dien bani na. Sahi yang lokal orang tu problem lah kerana.
Kau mengang ke school mana change tahu berarti. Apa tu kawan satu itu.
Sian sorga sian sabu itu kira kalau betari han ke sukar lom tarai. Baram di han itu tu param mana anu ke school home badaki kita tu siap deh. Kau anu han itu tahu juga anu kita tahu. Saya masih ada di school home badaki mangko. Coba.
Case study se underachiever kita tahu dora atau overachiever kita tahu ya.
Other achievement ki baat nahi, but any learning problem, handwriting ki wajah se, aduga memory problem ki wajah se, ko adi software ki wajah se, ko la mainly no ini psychologist nahi, adi tu na I am requesting all of you that please speak of a topic which is related with academic. Academic kembali le bazu ma topic tu ni ada calo psychological area ni am kah hai na calo. Yes, any problems, any questions? Any बात आता हुआ पर अपनी केस स्टडी से कोई वही नहीं कोई इंसाइटिंग एनालिसिस से सीधी चाप एग्जांपल से सुपाई तो ना है इरक के आदो afternoon session na mo ni atugi sample mo ida bu ya ro maram desi singada mo nati atu na ki friend ki macha hoir ga su ai ki isa hoir su lamsam sagalaga am tadi ro case study ya dai ko case study sina ba ta pa se ha adu ki example to ai ngamer sie ko bu whatsapp ta thakora ga sile su moi aya mar record la horo mane khale adu jamai ko se lairam dre ko ja bi se kumai lairam dre lai ko ta ta bu to oiram dre o ja ai se mi shemba mi katba ko mi du asoi be sem tok pa mi du hen fa ga ko na pa adu fa bo ja bu lero hello yan ta bro okay
case study sila principal na biso pito ay sensitive.
A very good afternoon, everyone. So, complete detailed information regarding case study has been shared to everyone, to all of you. What is the right procedure as a teacher trainee or as a student teacher? You are going to approach a school, right? So, the environment that you need to create first before you do the case study. Okay. So, what I believe, and according to what we have undergone through all this psychological testing, all this, collecting the attributes, or you are trying to find the abilities and the attitude of the student, the first and foremost step before you follow into case study, before you really jump and dive into case study, what is that? Has anyone of you heard about informed consent process? Is anyone aware about the term?
Consent.
Informed consent process. Is anyone aware about it?
Is it regarding like ethics?
Exactly.
Consent
When you say about informed consent process, which means inform means you are going to provide details or information to the person concerned from whom you are going to collect the data, right? And what is the consent? You'll be taking the agreeability of the person, whether he or she is ready to answer your question, whether he or she is ready to reveal these personal details and information, right? Now, according to what Sir has given, everything might look so easy. However, as Sir has already advised to some of you that do not go into the psychological depth of case study, because inside a school, there are students who must be suffering from autism disorder. Okay, there are even children who must be suffering from hyperactive disorder, right? And there might be certain children who are having anxiety problem. Okay, and even there might be even some children who are suffering from obsessive hyperactive disorder. Okay, now those kind of children have a severe psychological background. Now, since you are not a psychologist, or either you don't have a psychological theory or psychological history, so it is in fact hazardous to go towards that line, right? So, as Sir has advised you, it's better to attempt students who have academic learning difficulties. Okay, so under those who are the categories that might fall, children who are having highly achieved learner. Okay, that is children who are intellectually gifted. Okay, does this children has a learning difficulty? Okay, does he or she has a dyslexia? Okay, phobia or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I have pronounced that name wrongly. A person who's having like difficulty in calculation. Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like maybe you will come across around 2 or 3 students in a particular class. Someone who's having a problem in slow writing, and sometimes they even have a problem in following the teachers. Okay, so this kind of children fall under learning difficulties children. Okay, they are not impaired. The only thing is that they have certain difficulties that pose a challenge for him or her to meet the learning outcome. Okay, so now when I say about the informed consent process, your first duty is you need to speak first to the authority of the school, right? Correct? So when you approach the authority, you're not going to jump on the, like to the conclusion that, ma'am, actually we are doing a case study, so this is the internship program for the B.Ed. So actually this is the part of my case study. So can you please guide me some of the students who are having difficulties or who are having challenges in learning disorder? Okay. So the first person whom you can catch is the authority. Okay. If the authority gives you the permission or grants the permission, then only you will proceed. Okay? Actually, it's very sensitive. Okay? Case study has a sensitive of the body. When hiding chamni hiding high media school the authority have a malay authority the Kazana politely in a very humble way, you're going to approach the authority. Authority gonna hire a okay, actually I know some of the students very specifically, okay? Hire a generally in a traga I believe it will be better if you go and approach the teachers and hire a was asking the cousin greet Tobiro, cousin approach Tobiro. Now, before you greet and ask the teachers about the concerned students, you need to establish a rapport with the Waza. Wazaduna Pazanabar, Wazaduna Yingrisi, Lactor, but data, Koma Lactor, but case study Lactor, Hundur Lactor, was asking, say, Amang Machado Uduneva. May I say, Amang Masado Uduneva. She just school the poor and was on it. The reading room again, Takari Laka the neighbor. No, the book I am hiring, Kalito, I don't have a city tag Malay doing it. This belief will be there. Now, your duty is you need to win the trust of the teacher. Right? You need to win the trust of the authority. Ma'am, as an intern, okay, as an intern, while I observe the student, okay, maybe a control observation or uncontrolled observation or another interview to ma'am, I know ang sige matang the pangbat knowledge to. I interpret those and I begin evaluation to I share it ma'am. Since I'm going to enter into this teaching profession, it will help me in my career as well. Right? And one more very sensitive issue is that suppose there might be at times where you will have to approach the parents of the child, right? Now, mama passing say, the weakness amalay. He's facing a challenge in the classroom or in the learning area. None of the parents will reveal that. Agree? Okay, so there is a bit of a chance that you might get a half detailed information. Sukhang Kanda Bisak Amada, A Jan, Natanda, A Jag, Awata in Natanda, Hydro, Hydrosa, Mama Hydrocatra, Hydro, Adulicate. What are you going to do? Marata, there is a person who is going to act as a bridge. Who is that? The teacher, yes. So, first the authority, the teacher, then only you will proceed to the parents. Yeah, you got. Other the parents, the high matamda, high review call. Wazagi manata sapa matamda, when you do you know what is an anecdotal report card? Has anyone of you seen an anecdotal report card? I haven't seen it. But most of the teachers prepare it. Okay? It's some kind of a diary, small diary. Normally, anecdotal report card is 76 pages per academic year. The anecdotal report card is it's a profile that a teacher prepares regarding an individual learner in the classroom. Okay? Anecdotal report card is a particular class, a particular student. When I come there, I school is a ma'am, I see case study in school, the information madam, class things. Is there any children who are having a difficulty in learning area? Can you guide me? She is your bridge, she is the guide. Okay, so once you get the information, there are certain information where you really have to go into detail, in-depth analysis. Case study I say. Other the in-depth analysis, you need to proceed to your parents. Like community. Community are the group of people where you get the first-hand information. Primary source. Community Maga angang sida tinaba mamanaba. Maru is that mamanaba sings that Nito Amachana Tomatam, mamanaba information. I should reveal to shape I don't know about. Adudi again mamana baduga I isa student teacher I case study book collect we need to establish a very cordial relationship with the person, right? So case study how to relate. First and foremost, what you need to do is you need to establish a very cooperative behavior towards the other person from whom you are going to collect the information. There you go. So this is all. The rest you are going to do in hands-on experience. There you go. Thank you everyone.